affects you.
What an academic academic yo in their leadership rococo, leadership rababare.
It's all the serious stuff,
but with a light-hearted twist.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
And I'm Oboh.
Join us 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Right here.
On Hard Facts. On Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Lagos. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. I'm so glad to be here. It's not a very good day to be Nigerian. It has been 10 years since the Boko Haram insurgency began. 10 years that has seen the group unleash unspeakable violence on Nigerians. We've seen bombings of places of worship. We've seen shootings. We've seen mass abduction of children. We've seen rape. We've seen carnage. And now we have spokespeople of the presidency saying once and again that Boko Haram has been, quote, technically defeated. But we're still getting reports, both civilians and security agents losing their lives. We're still getting reports sometimes of victories, other times of setback. In fact, it was just a couple of weeks ago that the Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai, said that we are having challenges battling the insurgency because our soldiers were not motivated. And we're not taking ownership of the fight. So quite a lot has been happening in that space. 10 years later, how can we be having setbacks against an enemy who is technically defeated? But that's not one of the things we're talking about on today's show. I just want you to spare a thought. That's all I want you to do today. Spare a thought for the brave men and women in uniform who are putting their lives on the line to protect all of us from Boko Haram and ISWAP. I want us to remember those who have fallen. I want all of us in our quiet moments to thank them for their service to this country. Moving on with the show, Aghogho is on assignment, but I'm here to bring you the best insights into today's most important topics. If you missed yesterday's show or any of this week's shows, you can still catch them online. Our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube page is live at Nigeria Info FM. We have a great show lined up for you. As usual, we'll start up with the big three. Lekki Concession Company hands over 18 toll collectors to the police. Anambra traders ban official market priors, and a taxi driver returns almost 900,000 naira in dollars to his customer. Wow! He returned house rent. My goodness. Now, today's Thursday, so we're going to be bringing you Eyewitness. So get your stories ready for us here on Nigeria Info from 4 p.m. That's when that happens, immediately after the business news, when we've wrapped up with the big three. On the big hard fact, we're talking about the government's idea to start teaching science in indigenous languages. Remember when Oboh talked about it? Adamu also hinted at it during the ministerial quote-unquote screening. So let's talk about that. Let's see whether that idea has merits or not, and how it can be implemented if indeed we decide to implement it. 5 p.m. That's when we're having that conversation. And don't forget that you can listen to us online, nigeriainfo.fm. You can also stream whatever we're talking about on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. I'm very, very excited to tell you that Listed Lagosian is back. At 6:30 p.m. today, you really should stick around for it, because Irechi Bakari Yusuf has an amazing guest today. He's a real Nigerian hero and pioneer. My God. His name is Newton Jibuno, Chief Newton Jibuno. And he used to be the CEO of Costain, West Africa, but I first heard about him as the man who crossed the Sahara Desert. And he wrote a beautiful book about the journey. He called it Me, My Desert, and I. You should buy it and read it if you haven't. It's going to enrich your life. And now he's a crusader against desertification, and he's really done a lot with his life So it's going to be great to hear from him what parts of Lagos shaped him as a person, because we all have our different stories about Lagos and what Lagos means to us and what Lagos has done for us or done to us. All the time I listen to Colin Stecker on Lunchtime Magazine on Mondays, and he's talking about my Lagos experience, and people are talking about their Lagos. So today at 6:30, tune in and listen to Reti Bakari Yusuf talk to Chief Newton about his Lagos. What parts of this city are in his DNA? Now, as usual, throughout the show, we're going to bring you the latest updates from the worlds of current affairs, politics, business, sports, and entertainment. But we'll start it all off with the big three.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You know what to expect on the Big Three, stories that everyone is talking about right now. Do you always take your toll gate receipt? It's an important question. Do you always take your toll gate receipt? How do you feel about organized prayer in the workplace? And have you ever lost something valuable and had it returned? Let's get into these stories. Our first story, the Lekki Concession Company LCC has handed over 18 toll operators to the police for alleged fraud. The suspects were uncovered during the LCC's internal probe of revenue shortage from January. According to the LCC, the toll operators were found to have diverted toll revenue by, among other things, not issuing tickets to motorists and destroying toll equipment. This allowed them to allegedly underreport traffic volumes at peak times and pocket the excess revenue. My friends always make fun of me because anytime we're passing the Lekki toll gate, I insist on collecting my receipt. And after I collect the receipt, I always read it to check the date and the time. Well, now you see, am I not vindicated? They have been stealing at the toll gate, stealing from the LCC, but also stealing from you and I. Well, not so much from me because I always check my receipt. That's right. What about you? Do you check your receipt? If you don't, someone may have been pocketing your money the whole time. Just imagine 200 naira each crossing. That's if you're crossing on the Lekki Ebe Express. If you're crossing on the Ikoyi Link Bridge, you're paying 300 naira. So multiply that. Say we're multiplying that 200 naira, right? 2 crossings every day to work, from work. That's 400 naira times 5. That's 2,000 naira every week times 4. That's 8,000 naira a month. That's possibly up to 96,000 naira a year. And somebody may have been chopping all that money. So please, next time, check your receipt. But here's the thing about this matter, aside the outrage, and the gratitude that I check my receipt, even people like me who check their receipts were still being cheated. Let me explain why. A company built the road for government, right? Using their own money. But they're not a charity, they're a business. They have to get their money back plus profit. So government said to them, okay, build a toll gate, collect money from the toll gate until you've made back your money plus X amount of profit. So what happens is, you and I use the Lekki Ebe Expressway and we pay at the toll gate. Both government and the company LCC are tracking how much money is being made. The moment the revenue gets to the agreed amount, bam, no more payment at the toll gate. The company has made its money back. So what that means is, all that money that was allegedly diverted by these workers has not been counted. And that means that the total that has been counted is lower than the actual revenue at the gate. That means that LCC will be collecting money for a longer time than they should have. And that means that you and I will keep paying the toll for longer than we should. That's what happens when anybody embezzles toll revenue. By the way, some people say that the total amount that LCC collects should be made public and regularly updated so that we can know when they've made their money back. And I guess even as LCC is worried about staff cheating them, we, the public, are watching LCC so it doesn't cheat us. So I want to ask you who's listening to the show, what do you think about LCC staff and this police debacle? What do you think about the LCC taking the staff to police? Is that a good approach? Or should they just, fire them? Should they have just fired them? Do you think what the staff did was wrong? A lot of Nigerians are saying, no, now, you don't wrong now. Now, from where person walk, you go chop now. Do you agree with that? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993 and 01277 3993. We're streaming this conversation on Facebook, by the way, so leave us your comments. Facebook is Nigeria Info FM. Facebook again, Nigeria Info FM. You can also tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM. Again, the numbers to call 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993 and 01277 3993. Let's talk to Olaiton, who's in VI. Olaiton, thanks for calling us.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Please. I've been observing that several times. When I pass there, I check my receipts.
Okay.
But I notice that most of the time, so the time will not be tallied with the time, the actual time I pass.
Exactly, yes.
So, anytime I want to make a comment about it, I get down from my car. The people around me, the people behind, they won't allow. They will start
horning,
behaving funny. So they won't allow me to even make my point that I should just go away. So people won't exercise patience at that time. So, and I notice that anytime I demand for receipt, most of the time, those people that collect the toll, they will not be happy at all. They might even give you like 10 or 20.
They start acting like you're doing the wrong thing by asking for your toll receipt.
Exactly. So I don't even know. One thing about it is that Nigerians are not patient because people that are supposed to act at that time, they won't support you. So you will be alone at that time. So that is one thing I knew for sure that they do it a lot of times.
But what do you think about the LCC handing them over to the police? Was that the right move?
Yes, it's the right move. I like it.
Okay, Olaiton. Thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. I wonder if Remy agrees with you. Remy's in Aghogho. Hello, Remy. Thanks for calling. Yes, that line's still not working, unfortunately. Remy, you have to call us back. Hello, Ayo.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
What's your name?
My name is David.
David, thanks for calling us.
I'm calling from Lekki.
All right, go ahead.
See, to me, all those things, they are just doing it because those people are poor people. This Lagos State revenue is divided into maybe like 3. And few godfathers are taking two places. And they use us.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Ayo. I really wanted to hear Ayo's thoughts. Ayo says they're only arresting these people because they're poor. An interesting opinion. Jacob is in Surulere. Hello, Jacob. Thanks for calling us.
Hello, Sandra.
Yes, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I'm so glad that I've come to this point. I've been praying for this day.
Okay.
Because I've had several experiences with those people. And I knew that something was going on. For example, there was a day I didn't know that they had changed the Zacto fee, and I passed one of the roads, one of the lanes, and they said that was the Zacto fee. I gave them 500 naira. I tried to explain. They said no, I have to turn back. The whole road was blocked, and there was no way I could turn back. I said, okay, take 500. Give me my receipt. And he gave me receipt for 215 naira. I said, I gave you 500 naira. He said, I passed a Zacto fee. And I asked him, I said, who is going to collect the extra? He said, it's not for me to ask. I should just go. I said, no, because that means you are taking 500, 250 naira into your pocket. You will make more money even than the company. Because you have about 6 lanes and you are mounting 1 lane. If somebody gives you 1,000 naira and you're supposed to pay 250 and you give him a receipt of 200 and the person drives off, the rest goes to your pocket. I'm not as stupid as that. I was arguing as you will expect. The whole place was in commotion. People were running up and down. And at the end of the day, I went to the office to complain. And the man was saying that I made a mistake for passing there. I should have passed there, even as I passed there.
Yes.
What you would have done?
Give me the right
give me a
ticket.
receipt of 500 naira.
Exactly.
Rather than taking my own 250 naira. And only God knows how many people. And I swore for them that day. And this is how it has come. Because they have been cheating Nigerians. And once you are cheating people, one day it must come to this point. So I'm glad that they are taking this decision so that they can cleanse that place.
Okay. Well, Jacob, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts. Ola is in Oboh. Hello, Ola.
Hello.
Yes, thanks for
Sandra.
calling. Good evening.
Yes, good evening or good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yeah.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I would like to take the stand that I stand against taking the LCC members to the police station. Do you understand?
Okay.
We know the current situation of the country at the moment. And personally, for me, I wouldn't mind for those staff to still have my money because these things, we were paying 120 before, for God's sake. They increased it to 200 without justification. Despite our rioting and everything, yet they prevailed over us because they are government. We need to start holding our government accountable. If they had given the public the information of what was spent, what has been paid and what is remaining, then we would now, guide our money very well so that we know that in certain time, in the particular year to come, we will stop paying. Those guys, how much do they pay them? How much do they pay them? I know it's a Nigerian factor, or it's a Nigerian thing of where man they chop, where man they work and they chop. But how much do you think we pay for that token?
So you're basically saying because they're not paying them enough, it's okay for them to steal from you and I?
I am not justifying the fact that it's okay for them to steal.
You
but
kind of are.
How much have they stolen that is equivalent to what we are paid? How much have they stolen?
Imagine that you have to pass that toll gate just 2 times every day. If you do the calculation, in 1 year, 96,000 naira. So, Ola, if they take 96,000 naira from only you, we've not even counted the 96,000 from me, 96,000 from John, from Ayodele, from Sarah, just your own 96,000. We're saying that that's okay because it's not enough compared to what they're being paid.
Now, let me now ask. If you mentioned Ayo, how many people do you think patronize that toll gate?
A lot of people. Have you ever checked the number of vehicles that have passed? It's stamped on the ticket.
Sandra, do you know that even up to 1 a.m., I am still paying toll gate? That means you will have a number of cars. Let government come out and tell us. Then we too we will protect their interest by checking it and ensuring that in a certain number of years, we would have completed the payment to these private contractors and the toll gate will now be left free for us.
Ola, thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. Unfortunately, we cannot take more calls with that story, but John has been waiting for a while. So let me quickly talk to John. John, thanks for calling.
You're welcome, Sandra.
Go ahead.
I really, really appreciate you for bringing this point out. I noticed this for quite a long time.
Okay.
Each time I pass there, it's either they don't give you, and if you insist, they will tear a sheet for you. I have a proof right here as I'm talking to you. If I can get your WhatsApp number, I will take a shot of it and send it to you right away.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I insisted. The last time I insisted, and myself and the person at the toll, we started abusing ourselves because of my receipt, my right. When I paid, I have a right to get receipt. And he did not issue me receipt. And the policeman that security pay was just right in front of us. And none of them was able to answer what is going on for us to explain. Do you understand? After I dragged her down, I told her, if you did not give me the I'm not leaving here, and I block everybody. She has to cut a piece for me, and the piece was actually written all sorts of amount on it. 100, 200. I have it right here with me as I'm talking to you. 100, 200, 250, 100, 400, 1,000. I asked her, you are giving me this. If I want to claim my money from my company, how do you think if I present it to my company will actually believe me that I paid some amount at the toll gate?
Yeah.
So there's a person I have with me said, please, let's go. I will give you the money for this too. Then we left. That was how it ended that day. So it has been happening for a very long time.
So you're
Thank you
glad
so much
that
for
the
bringing
police
this.
has
I'm so
stepped
happy.
in.
I am so happy.
John, thanks
so
for
happy.
calling and sharing your thoughts. Send us a WhatsApp message if you want to talk about that particular matter. I told you on our first story that the LCC has handed over 18 toll operators to the police for alleged fraud. And I'm asking if you always take your receipt. Get on Facebook and leave us comments as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info FM. Our second story, let's move there. From stealing at work to praying at work. Well, not anymore if you work in Onitsha Market, for example. The Anambra State Amalgamated Traders Association has banned its members from organizing prayer sessions in their markets. The President General of the association, Ikechukwu Ekwegbalu, said that this was because the prayer sessions were routinely being hijacked either to extort money or to deliver political messages. And I have to ask you, do you pray in your office? Does it ever frustrate you when you go to a business establishment or a government office and nobody is available to attend to you and they tell you it's because everybody is praying? When that happens, do you shrug and accept it as one of those things? Or do you get angry? What I'm asking you is, do you believe that there is room for organized prayer in the workplace? Now, many Nigerians say yes. They say prayer is the most important thing. Prayer is what determines success. So when they get to work, they believe that it is their responsibility to pray, right? So that everything at work will work out fine. So if you oppose such a person when they want to organize a prayer, you come across to them as an enemy of progress. Other people support prayer at work, but for a very different reason. They say it's because there's freedom of religion. To them, freedom of religion means that they have a right to pray wherever they want and at any time they want. And this includes praying at work. This includes praying during work hours. Any attempt to stop them, they say, is a violation of their religious freedom. But I've heard some people oppose this. Some people say public prayer is not all right. Public prayer, they say, can be a nuisance to those who do not pray. Freedom of religion, they say, includes freedom not to practice religion. They also say that praying at work interrupts business. They say that this is unacceptable because we're not at work in our private capacity as Christians or as Muslims. We're there as employees. Our religion doesn't matter. And it should be left at home. And it definitely shouldn't be affecting work. They even say, these people who oppose public prayer, they say that it is unprofessional to be praying on duty and leaving customers unattended to. Then there are those who say that workplace prayer is wrong because of religious tolerance. I mean, we're a multi-religious nation. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have Ifa adherents, we have Feni Beso worshippers, we have Ekists, we have Ndi Ordinani, and so much more. And then we also have those who, like I said before, have no religion at all. The atheists, the deists, etc. Saying prayers in public spaces may offend those who do not belong to the same religion. It may also give off the feeling that one particular religion is more accepted in the workplace, in that particular workplace, than others. And this is especially true when the management or the owners of the business or organization actively take part in a prayer session. There's a reason why at most federal government functions, for instance, if there's an opening prayer and a closing prayer, a Christian pastor and a Muslim imam rotate or share the duties so that both religions will feel included. But some people have said that it doesn't go far enough. According to them, if there is even one Feni Beso worshipper in the room, the government has discriminated against her. by recognizing other religions but not her own. So in this scenario, some people ask, isn't it better for government to just leave prayer out of it altogether, just like the Anambra traders have done? And that's what I'm asking you. Is it better to just forego office prayers to avoid controversy? Do organized prayers belong in the workplace? Does your office or your workplace have it? What do you feel about it? I remember I went to a hospital one time to visit a friend of mine who had just had surgery, and there was an emergency, and we were trying to find a nurse or a doctor, anybody on duty, and we kept pressing the bell in my friend's room, pressing the bell. Grr, grr, grr. Nobody was coming. I had to run out of the room to go and look for the nurses or the doctors. And guess what? They were outside the hospital building completely. They were at the parking lot doing morning prayer. And a patient needed them. I keep asking myself till this day, what would have happened if I wasn't in my patient's, in my friend's hospital room? So again, is it better to just forego office prayers so that you avoid controversy? Do you think that organized prayers belong in the workplace? Does your office or your workplace have it? How do you feel about it? What do you feel about it? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. 080 959 75805. If you are watching us on Facebook, leave us a comment as well, and we're going to attend to it as soon as we can. Afam is in Alimo Show. Hello, Afam. Thanks for calling.
Hello. Good
yes,
afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Who are these people, these all matter people? Is that prayer disturbing them?
Is which prayer disturbing who?
The market, the prayer they conduct in the market, is it disturbing them?
What do you mean?
A lot of them are occultic men. Why would they be banning prayer? If it was Buhari that said they should stop praying in the market, Nigeria should start shouting.
All right, so
they want to Islamize Nigeria.
Well, Buhari did not say that. And
no,
we have Christians. No, we have Christians, we have Muslims who organize public prayers.
Hold on.
The conversation, Afam, is...
Yes.
What do you feel about public prayers? Is that something that should happen in a workplace or not?
Religion is an individual affair.
Yeah.
It's a personal business. If you want to pray in your workplace, it's your personal business.
Yeah, but we're not doing personal prayers. We're not gathering to pray as a market.
They are gathering to pray at the market at their own free will. Is it disturbing anybody in the market?
What if I'm not a Christian or a Muslim?
Have they disturbed you from conducting your business?
Yes, because I can't come and shop. They've closed down to pray.
They don't usually shut down the market. Excuse me.
Okay. Have you ever gone to a workplace and they're praying and they can't attend to you?
A workplace is different from a marketplace.
But we're talking about all of it generally.
No. We are talking about our nature. Amalgamated business.
I expanded the conversation into the workplace as well.
The area I'm talking about now is the main market, the Onitsha Market Association.
Okay.
A market they are bosses on their own.
Okay.
You can't tell me how I would run my own shop.
Okay.
If you come into the market, they didn't shut down the market because of the prayer.
Okay.
The market is open.
So you are not supporting this move to shut down public prayers.
Is it religion? It's a personal affair.
Yeah, but are you not contradicting yourself? Are you not contradicting yourself?
You know I'm not contradicting myself.
Why?
It's a personal affair.
Yes, exactly. So if it's a personal affair, why are you doing it in public?
If I try to pray, where is public and where is a private?
The market is a public place.
Where is a church?
A church is not in the market. Market is market. Church is church.
Okay, good. Market is a public place. The market in question, I have my own shop there. I have a right to stay there. I'm not there illegally.
So close your shop. Stay inside your shop. Close it and pray inside your shop. Why do you have to come outside and do it?
My dear,
gathering everybody in the market.
If they are not gathering everybody in the market, I've been to markets where they conduct prayers. It's optional.
Okay. Afam, thanks for calling. Let's talk to Peter in Oshodi. Hello, Peter.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. You see, I caught my brother this morning.
Okay.
When I heard the news. But he said nothing like that. Because he himself, he is a leader in the market there. So he said the news has not come to them.
Okay.
So I want to see the reason behind that.
Well,
Is the prayer disturbing them?
The prayer is not disturbing them. They're saying that prayer sessions were hijacked to either extort money from the people or deliver political messages, and they don't want that to be happening anymore.
Okay, if it is that angle, maybe they may be right. But I believe that if I want to go and join prayer, it's my own decision.
Okay, but let's take the conversation away from markets. Let me ask you, have you ever gone to an office and they couldn't attend to you because they were praying?
No, but my wife attended a clinic. They were getting the nurses there. They're making their money prayer. So my wife joined them. Then after that, they continue their business.
Okay, so and you don't see anything wrong with that? You know, they were conducting their prayer while a patient was waiting to see a doctor. You don't see anything wrong with that? You don't think it was unprofessional?
Though it depends on the management, not all the nurses.
Not all the nurses. Okay, Peter, thanks for calling. Remi's in Aghogho. Remi, thanks for calling us.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
I think the last two callers weren't listening to you. So you get. Why should you disturb someone else with your prayer? Okay, the other person said you can choose to pray wherever you want to. It is a personal thing. It is personal. It should be private as well. So you can't say something is personal doing it publicly. So Nigeria is made up of Christians and Muslim only. Even the occult, it is their religion. So even the scripture made it so clear. If you want to pray, go into your inner chamber and do that. You shouldn't start at the side of the road like the hypocrite. Say the scripture if you have to go by the scripture. So it tend to become a bit toxic when you want to talk about how to go about their religious beliefs. You shouldn't disturb me. I'm a Christian. I have a church right behind my house. If I have the power to do that, I can easily probably call the authority to come and shut it down. To disturb everything.
Well, Remi, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts. We'll talk to Bright and then move on to our last story. And then you can comment on any of the stories on the Big Three today. Bright, hello. Thanks for calling us.
Yeah. I'm calling to contribute to the topic.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Concerning the public prayers organization or whatever, I think religion is a personal affair.
Okay.
Like the last caller last week said, it should be a personal stuff.
Okay.
Apart from the way that people take religion into their hands and make it erratic things for other people to do their own daily business. Even this public address system, it's a nuisance to. I don't know. I'm a Christian actually.
Okay.
I support you praising God, but to disturb other people's activities, that I don't support. So the public address system, the way they shout, it's not even limited to Christians, even Muslims and other religions.
Yes.
The way they do it, even in Lagos, in Surulere, the way they do it is so alarming, and I think there should be a law. If there is no law, there should be a law restricting people from constituting users while practicing
carrying out their religion. Thank you so much, Bright, for calling and sharing your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, that's the question. It's a very simple question, really. It's very short. Let's forget about the Anambra people. Let's forget about the marketplace. That story was just a basis for having a bigger conversation. Now, what is that bigger conversation? Does prayer, organized prayer, belong in the workplace? It's simple. Is it better to forego office prayers to avoid controversy? Does organized prayer belong in the workplace? It's that simple question. Now, for our third story, we go from allegations of fraud and extortion to an inspiring tale of honesty. An airport taxi driver returned money and a passport that one of his passengers forgot in the car. The driver, Mr. Olayinke Adeniyi, picked the passenger at the international airport after midnight and dropped him in Ikorodu. When he returned to the airport, he found an envelope in the car with the passenger's passport and 2,000 $2,400. 2,400. That's about 864,000 naira. Mr. Adeni reported the discovery to his supervisors. The owner, Mr. Adele Ayeni, only discovered the loss the next afternoon when he woke up. He went to the airport. He was informed that the driver had reported the missing items and they were returned to him. Now, this story, it really, really, really made me smile for so many reasons. Now, I want to tell you what both men said. Here is what Mr. Adeniyi, the taxi driver, said about the reason it did not occur to him to steal the money. He said he could never do that because it would bring sorrow to another family. So here's a man probably struggling with his finances, as most of us are in Nigeria, and he sees this money, 864,000, but he says, nope, this belongs to somebody else. I will bring sorrow to their lives if I take it. He was thinking about their struggle, about their needs, about their sweat, which earned them that money. And it's a message that I think a lot of people need to hear. Online fraud has been on the news a lot, and you hear people defending it, and they say stuff like, it's because of poverty. One of the callers called today and said as much. It's because of poverty. Boys are hungry. And then for the fraudsters who do online fraud, they say the foreigners we defraud have more money than us. But here is a man who drove someone back from an international flight saying, I don't want to bring him sorrow. The taxi driver had compassion on the international traveler. It's sad that there's so much dishonesty these days that we have to celebrate common decency. But we must celebrate it. Olayinka Adeniyi is a hero. And listen to what his passenger, Dele Aneyi, had to say. He said, this is a living testimony that Nigeria has hope. We are not all bad people. And that message is really, really heartwarming because a lot of the times we're getting a lot of bad news about ourselves. So it's good to hear about Nigerians who are doing good. Meanwhile, I hear that this situation of honesty about lost and found items is not a new thing at the airport. I'm hearing that it happens all the time. So let me hear from you. Do you have a lost and found story? It could be from the airport or anywhere else. Did you lose something and have it returned to you? Did you return something? Tell us what you've heard. Tell us what you would do. 01277 0993 01277 1993 01277 2993 and 01277 3993. I've got 1 minute, so we can take 2 30-second calls. Darlington is in Yanabaja. Hello, Darlington.
Yes.
Thanks for calling.
Yes, Sandra, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Aghogho, how you doing?
He's not here.
Oh, he's not yet back.
He's on an official assignment.
No, good. One of the reasons why there is some level of honesty at the airport is because those people are regulated.
I see.
I think so. They are regulated. That guy can easily go back to that airport and trace the taxi he entered. And they could fish him out. That means he may not be working there again. Are you getting my drift?
Okay. So you don't think it's about honesty, you think it's about consequences?
Yes, I think so, because when you have areas where there are CCTV cameras, where you think people could see what you are doing and all that, we tend to overblow this honesty.
I see. Let me talk to C2C. Hello, C2C. Thanks for calling.
Hi.
Hi.
Sandra.
Good evening.
Kekim.
Odimma. Kekwano.
Yeah. Fine. Thank God.
Yes.
Actually, I called to contribute based on the person that returned the forgotten items, like money and the passport to the owner. That's a very good thing. This is hard to see. Likewise, there was a time something like this happened, like 2 months back. A company in Asabadi sent a goods worth 300 and something pounds to me. without knowing it was a mistake. They mistakenly one number was missing in the contact, and everything got delivered. So, I was like, "What's happening? What's happening?"
Oh, that's quite unfortunate. I'm so sorry that happened. Share the rest of that story with us on Facebook. Why don't you? Sandra Ezekwesili right here. Let's take our business news and move right into Eyewitness, where we can continue talking about this Good Samaritan.
It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.